Hello, everyone. Welcome to lesson 2 with our programming in Java. In this question here, or in this video, we're going to be talking about how to program a very simple tipping calculator. And the question states as follows. So we're going to have two inputs. One should be the total cost of the meal and the tip percentile. And our goal is to provide two outputs, the tip amount, how much that would cost, and the total cost of the meal, considering the tip percentile that we have inputted. Right now, what I've started is just a boilerplate, a starting point of our program. And what I've done is first imported our scanner, which we need for our scanner object. And I have also closed our scanner at the very end of my code so that we don't run into any resource management issues for our program down the road, but we really shouldn't run into any problems anyways, but it is always safe to do so. So here we go. The program requires two inputs, so we're going to program that in right away, and we're going to be using something that we know. We're still going to use the method called .nextLine from the scanner class. So let's create variables for our two input. I'm going to have user input number 1, and that's going to be sc.nextLine. Like that. And now we need to provide a prompt. So we're going to go system, let out the println, enter the meal cost. All right. And what I'm going to do right now is, just to make my life a little easier, I'm just going to copy those two lines of code because I do need another line of input. So we're going to say enter the tip percent. Like that, and then we're going to change this variable to 2. So now I have two distinct string variables that is going to hold two distinct and different user input from the user of our program. Okay. So first and foremost, we need the tip amount and the total cost for our output. So we're going to need to do some calculations in our processing section so that we can get that started. But as always, first I want to convert the meal cost from a string to a double. So here we're going to say double is equal to, let's call this meal, and then we're going to go access the parse double method from the double class, and then we're going to provide user input, and to end that line we're going to provide the semicolon. Next, we are going to need to also convert the user input 2, which was the percentile percentage. There is no percentage data type in programming, therefore I want to convert that to an integer. We're going to read like 10% as a integer of 10, and then we can divide that by 100 to generate a equivalent percentile. All right, so we can go, just for easy's sake, instead of using it as an integer, let's do double again. So we're going to go double. We're going to say percent is equal to double of parse double, and we're going to go user input 2. Now we have grabbed the user input 2, which is a string, into a double, but it wasn't a 10%, but we read it as a double of 10. So what I want to do is divide that by 100 so I can get a decimal equivalent of a percentile in a double data type format. So we're going to divide that by 100, and hopefully we get a really nice fraction equivalent value in a decimal format. So we have our variable meal and percent all set. Now we can think about doing our total costs. Okay, so we can say that our double, the tip, is going to be equal to taking our meal cost and multiplying by the percentile that we got. So we're going to take percent and put a semicolon there. This is going to contain the tip. And then we're going to have double a total cost of our meal, which is going to be the meal value prior, and then we're going to add the tip value that we just calculated in the previous line. Okay, so in our processing section, what we did first was to convert our string inputs into its proper data type that we need for our calculation, which in this case was double. With the percent variable, we did something special where we took and turned it into a double, then right away divided by 100 so that we can get the proper percentile equivalent value in a decimal. And we needed this so that we can calculate our tip by multiplying the variable meal by our newly calculated percent variable. And once we have that all set, we have the tip value all done, and I can just add that tip value to our meal variable to get our total cost. Now let's handle our output. After all that has been calculated, it's now the time just for us to output the value. So we can say the total, the tip amount, will go in order, is plus tip. We could put a dollar symbol here just to make our little output look easier, and we can go system out that println right here. The total cost is dollar plus total cost, like so. And that is our code. Okay, we're gonna have a tip amount and the total cost outputted at the very end, and let's see how this runs. Okay, so let's enter the meal cost. We're gonna enter $34.50 for our meal cost, and let's say that in this economy we're gonna pay about 20% tip. So our tip amount was $6.90. So our total cost of adding that value into $34.50 gave us $41.40. Okay. So there you have it. You were able to now create a very basic tipping calculator, and maybe you can use this in your daily lives when you go out to eat at restaurants and whatnot. But as always, thank you for watching and stay classy.